All right, go ahead and get this thing started. An ACC matchup with the Virginia Cavaliers versus the Army Black Knights. We're in West Point, New York, taking on a classic game of Light the Wick versus Flippy, big ACC opponents and rivals ever since Flippy joined the ACC. Uh, Army in the All Blacks, Virginia wearing the blue bottoms, and we will go ahead and get this game day underway. Virginia wins the coin toss. They elect to defer to the second half, and they will kick the ball off, and it will be a touchback. Trotting onto the field is the number one recruit from this past season, and Artemis Homer, who has a chance to uh, really show out today. So far, has not had stellar numbers, with only having the one touchdown to his name passing wise. But this should be an opportunity for him here today against a very tough opponent. Homer drops back, and it's going to be a delayed handoff to Rodney Brown. And gain of 9 yards in the play. Homer drops back to pass. He finds Himbo Samuel over the middle, comes up with it, rushes up the field, for he is brought down for gain of 19 and a first down. Go back to the ground game, hand it off to Rodney Brown. This one on an extended handoff to the outside, who breaks the initial tackle, rushes up the field before falling forward for a gain of 9, 2nd and 1. Homer fakes the handoff, looking, throws it to the outside. He finds Henry Bell, who tiptoes down the sideline before his momentum takes him out of bounds for a gain of 23, and they're at the Virginia 15-yard line. Good mix up here as they go pass, run, back to the run. They hand it off to Brown, who gets 1 yard in the play. Going back to the air, Homer drops back to pass, looking for the end zone, and he cannot find his man as it falls incomplete. 3rd down and 9 from the 14. Brown is not in, but Brian Davis is in the backfield. He gets the handoff, rushes up the gut, breaks the line of scrimmage and a tackle, stiff arms a man before he gets past the first down marker and a little bit more, making it 1st and goal from the 2. Davis, big rush. He comes into the fullback position. Rodney Brown comes back in. They hand the ball off to Brown, who dives into the end zone, and that's an early touchdown for the Black Knights. The extra point is up and good, and it is 7-0 Army with 10:40 left in the first quarter. Kellen McClure will kick it off, and it'll be a touchback. And Demetrius Thompson, the the junior who was number 5 in the recruiting class a couple years ago, will get his third start on the year. Who has not so far has had a really good year, throwing for 5 touchdowns and yet to throw an interception. He will hand the ball off to Quentin Daniel, who gets gain 2 on the play. Josh Paris gets the handoff for a gain of 5. It brings up a 3rd down and 3, and we have some miscommunication on the defense, and Flippy will have to burn a timeout so he can have his correct defense on the field. The line back up. It is a shotgun formation with Thompson. Thompson moves Paris out of the backfield into the slot position, takes the snap, fakes it to the left, throws it to Quentin Daniel on the outside, who gets the first down marker and more when he gets a gain of 13 on the play, and it's to the 45-yard line. Thompson, play action, loads it up deep down the seam, and he finds his man Peyton Moore as he's brought down by the safety for a gain of 25, and they're in Army territory at the 30. Thompson drops back to pass, pump fakes it short to the curl route, throws it deep. He's got a man, George Richardson, who jumps up and gets it. Momentum carries him forward, and it's a touchdown, Cavaliers. A 30-yard hookup from Thompson to Richardson. The extra point is up and good, and in less than 2 minutes, Virginia goes down the field and scores and ties it up. This is any indication of what today is going to look like. It's going to be a shootout. Ebozu kicks it off, and he'll be taken for a 15-yard return from the 6-yard line, and it'll be first and 10 Army on their own 21. Homer drops back to pass. He finds Andrew Harrison over the middle for a gain of 10. Homer completes it to Himbo Samuel for a gain of 9. Brings up a second and short. Hand the ball off to Rodney Brown, who gets met at the line of scrimmage for no gain. It is third down and 1. Homer drops back to pass. Looking, fires, can't come up with it as it falls incomplete. Harrison had a man draped all over him. The cornerback could have been called for pass interference, but it's let go. Fourth and 1 from their own 40, and Flippy keeps his offense out on the field. Homer is in the pistol formation. He has Brown right behind him. He has Davis to his right, and he has Malcolm Franklin to his left. It is a full package set. Homer gets the handoff, RPO, fakes it to the inside, decides to rush it to the outside, pitches it late, and Brown is going to be met in the backfield for a loss of 1, and it'll be a turnover on downs, and Virginia will take over in great field position at the 39-yard line. Thompson drops back to pass on the first down play, throws it over the middle, and it falls incomplete. This crowd is getting into it, and Virginia's going to have to burn a timeout to get a good play call in. And it was a good timeout because on the very next play, Thompson finds Shelton McVeigh to the outside for a gain of 14 and a big first down. Thompson hands the ball off to Beckham, who rushes ahead, lowers the shoulder, and gets hit hard, and the ball pops free. Fumble is on the ground, and it's going to be a pile up. They start taking bodies off the field, looking to see what happened, and it's going to be recovered by the defense. Army recovers the fumble. A.J. Marini will get on top of it, giving Army great field position on their own 20. We have a fourth down conversion. Now we have a fumble. Homer drops back to pass, and he falls incomplete, but some unnecessary roughness on the defense gives Army 15 free yards as he first and 10 from the 35. Handoff to Brown up the middle. He gets 4 yards, second and 6. Homer drops back to pass, looking dangerous pass over the middle. It's going to be intercepted by Ty Jefferson, who comes down with it, and it's a turnover on downs as we're starting to see a little bit of the bug. First and 10. Thompson in their own 42. Feels pressures rolling out, trying to scramble, decides to dump it off late, and it's going to be intercepted by Army. Ryan Doherty jumps in front of it, and he's got a little bit of head of steam before he is brought down by a lineman for a gain of 12. And now we've gone back-to-back interceptions, and Army will get it first and 10 in their own 46. Homer keeps it for himself on the RPO. He gets a 1-yard gain. Homer sets up the screen pass, finds Rodney Brown. Defense caught napping as Brown gets 10 yards up the field before he's even touched. He'll get a gain of 18 on the play. First and 10 on the Virginia 35. Handoff to Brown, who gets a 6-yard gain. Second and 4. Homer drops back, looking, fires over the middle, and falls incomplete. Homer, third down, drops back to pass again, decides to dump it off short, and it falls incomplete in and out of the receiver's hand as it will bring up a 4th and 4 at the 29-yard line. As Army will send out their kicking team. Kellen McClure will line up for the 46-yard field goal. Here's the snap. Flags fly as the kick goes up, and it is good as Army nails this for 46 yards out, but let's see what the flag is. Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty, and the points get taken away. Kellen McClure does not seem too phased by that as he lines up for the 40 from a 46 now to a 56-yard field goal. Um, he has kicking power of 54. So this is he needs all the leg he can get on it. 56-yard try. The kick is up. Gets a little bit of wind and it is good. The penalty does not matter, just makes McClure's stats look a little bit better. 56-yard field goal. Army takes the lead 10-7 with 5:04 remaining in the first quarter. McClure kickoff, be a touchback, and Virginia takes over first and 10 in their own 25. Handoff to Callahan for a gain of 6. Handoff to Callahan again for nothing. And then an incomplete pass to Paris as it brings up a 4th and 4. They have to punt the ball away. Austin Buss with a 45-yard punt. Doherty will call fair catch, and it'll be 1st and 10 Army on their own 24. Homer drops back to pass. He throws it to a well-covered man, and the flag comes flying as they're going to call defensive pass interference. He was draped over Kenyon Taylor, and that's going to be a automatic first down for the Black Knights. Davis gets the handoff, met in the backfield for a loss of 1. Hand the ball off to Davis again. Henry Bell. Bell gets 10 yards in the play, and it brings up a 3rd down and 1. Hand the ball off to Davis. Davis, who lowers the shoulder, and he falls forward. It's a first down. Homer drops back to pass, feels pressure, throws it, finds Clay Puente for a gain of 19 and into Virginia territory at the 47-yard line. Time winding down at the end of the first quarter. Homer hooks up with Taylor on a curl route, and he's brought down immediately for a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Hand the ball off to Brown, but the defense reads it all the way, and he's dropped for a loss of 2, and that will end the first quarter. Army is leading 10-7 at home, and they have the ball in Virginia territory. 3rd down and 4. Homer drops back to pass, looks over the middle, finds Kenyon Taylor with a jump pass, and he comes down with it for a gain of 16. Big play there, 1st and 10 at the 25. Homer takes the snap, looking, fade route, going deep, and it is caught in the end zone by Himbo Samuel. 25-yard hookup there with the extra point is good. Army extends their lead 17-7 in the early goings of the second quarter. 14:02 left in the half. Kickoff, and it will be a fair catch as Virginia takes over in their own 25-yard line. Hand the ball off to Paris for a gain of 8. Paris for a gain of 15. Thompson drops back to pass. He finds Devin Campbell for a big gain of 11. Thompson passes it again, this time to Quentin Daniel out of the backfield, and he'll get a gain of 15, and just like that, deep into Army territory. At the 26-yard line, hand the ball off to Callahan, who gets a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3. Thompson drops back to pass, sets up the screen to Paris. Paris has a couple of blockers in front of him, and a late man comes in to bring up the tackle for a gain of 11, but it's going to be 1st and goal from the 8. Very next play, handoff, Timothy Beckham. Beckham rushes ahead, jukes a man out, dives for the end zone, touchdown, Virginia. And again, Virginia answers a touchdown for a touchdown very quickly as the extra point is up and good. And a little bit over a 4-minute drive there as Virginia cuts into the lead 17-14. Kickoff taken will be a touchback, and it'll be a 1st and 10 for Army. Homer keeps it for himself for a gain of 5. Brown gets the handoff. He gets 6 on the play. Brown gets the handoff again, gets 6. Davis gets the handoff for a gain of 2. Third down and two. Homer drops back to pass, finds Clay Puente for a big gain of 28 yards and a first down into Virginia territory at 28. And that's where the drive stalls. Homer, no gain. Rodney Brown, no gain. Bell, a 1 yard gain, and it sets up a 44-yard field goal try. Kellen McClure for 44 yards out, and it is good, making it 14 to 20, 5:14 left in the half. Kickoff for a touchback, and Virginia takes over. 5:08 left in the half. Thompson drops back to pass, looking, throws a deep pass, and he's got Quentin Daniel as it's a foot race, and he's finally tripped up last second for a gain of 31. But we have a holding penalty on the offense. Brings it back 10 yards, negate the yardage, and it's going to be 1st and 20. 2 yard rush by Callahan, 2 yard rush by Paris, 5 yard rush by Callahan. It brings up a 4th and 11. 47-yard punt, no return, and Army will take over 1st and 10 on their own 29. 2:33 left in the half. Homer hands ball off to Davis for a gain of 4 as we hit the 2-minute timeout. 2nd and 6, Homer pass over the middle to Bell for a gain of 5. Virginia calls their second timeout of the half. 3rd down and 1, and it's a false start. Making it 3rd down and 6. Homer drops back to pass, finds Clay for a gain of 11, a big first down, and Virginia calls their final timeout of the half. 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. Franklin gets the handoff. He gets 8 yards in the play. Handoff to Brown. He gets 1 yard. Handoff to Brown again. He gets 12 yards, and he gets out of bounds to the Virginia 35-yard line. Homer drops back to pass and sets up the safety valve in Henry Bell, who gets a 6-yard gain. Homer drops back to pass, throws it to Taylor over the middle for a sliding catch, a gain of 13 and another first down. Davis gets the handoff. He gets 7 yards in the play. But there are 2 offsetting penalties on the previous play, so it will be a replay. 2nd and 3, incomplete pass, and it is now 4th and 3 at the Virginia 9, and Army will elect to send out their kicker. McClure with the chip shot. It is up and good as they have extended their lead yet again, 23-14. Kickoff will be a touchback, 1st and 10. Virginia has no timeouts. Thompson drops back to pass, finds Quentin Daniel for a gain of 16. Hurrying up to the line of scrimmage, hand the ball off to Callahan, who gets 5. They spike the ball the very next play, making it 3rd down and 5. Thompson drops back to pass, looking, and he underthrows his man, falls incomplete, and they just punt this ball away to end the half. So that is halftime. Army leads at 23-14. But Virginia does get the ball to start the second half. Kickoff. McClure leaves this short as it will be taken from the 6-yard line. Julian Chamberlain will get it and gets a 21-yard return, giving Virginia the ball at their own 27. Paris handoff for a gain of 9. Callahan, gain of 1. 1st and 10. Thompson drops back to pass, finds Daniel to the outside for a gain of 20. Paris gets the handoff for a gain of 6. Paris again for 14. Callahan for a gain of 8. And they're deep in Army territory at the 15-yard line. Thompson, play action, looking, throws it over the middle, finds McVeigh, touchdown, Virginia. They go down the field and score in less than 5 minutes. The extra point is up and good, as we have yet again a great ball game. Army takes over after the touchback kick. Homer drops back to pass, finds Kenyon Taylor, who catches it, decides to rush over the middle, and he gets hit hard. The ball pops free, and it's a turnover on downs as Virginia dives on it after the fumble. Alicio Rizzo, the man who, with the two interceptions in week one, has now had his second turnover recovery in this game. Uh, sorry. He just has the fumble recovery. My bad. Thought he had something earlier. First and 10 at the Army 41, and they have some momentum. Handoff to Callahan for a gain of 7. Paris gets dropped back for a loss of 3. Third down and 6. Thompson decides to keep for himself, and he rushes it for 3. Fourth and 3 at the 34-yard line. Bus punts this ball away for a 43-yard touchback. But we have a penalty by Army. Unnecessary roughness by Army. And somehow Virginia will keep the ball with the penalty yardage. So it's a 15-yard gain, first and 10 at the Army 19 for the Cavaliers. Thompson jots back to pass. He finds Peyton Moore for a gain of 9. Thompson rushes ahead. He gets the first down and sliding down for a 3-yard gain. It is now first and goal from the Army 7. Handoff to Paris for a gain of 1. Goes towards the end zone, incomplete pass. Goes towards the end zone again, and another incomplete pass. It brings up a 4th and goal from the 6. And they will send out the kicking team. The extra point is up and good as Virginia takes the lead for the first time today. 24-23 with 6:19 left in the third quarter. Kickoff taken from the 3-yard line. Doherty will get a 16-yard return, and it'll be first and 10 at the 19. First and 10, handoff to Brown, who gets a 6-yard gain. Homer drops back to pass, finds Harrison for a big 16-yard gain. It's first down at the 41. Army. Homer drops back to pass, looking deep bomb, and he's got a man down the field. Henry Bell comes up with it. He beats his man. He tripped and falls. Bell running down the sideline to the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Army. A 59-yard hookup from Homer to Harrison. But there's a penalty flag on the field. Holding on the offense will be accepted, and it takes away the touchdown. And it's now first and 20 for Army after the big dive there. Homer complete pass for a gain of 5. Homer complete pass to Bell for a gain of 8. Third down and 7. Extended handoff there, and the defense blows it up, and it's a loss of 3 on the play, and bring up a 4th and 10. Dominique Kelly, 47-yard punt. Chamberlain gets a 25-yard return, but there's an illegal block in the back that will be accepted. Virginia takes over first and 10 on their own 12. Callahan rushes it for a gain of 6. Thompson finds Daniel for a gain of 11 over the middle for a first down. First and 10, handoff to Beckham for a gain of 2. Second and 8. Thompson drops back to pass, throws it in coverage. It's intercepted by Army. Adam Beck jumps in front of it and gets up the field, but there is a flag on the play. Holding on the defense. The interception is void as Virginia keeps the ball and gets an automatic first down and a 5-yard gain. That is now the third penalty by Army that has left Virginia to keep the ball. Incomplete pass, incomplete pass, incomplete pass. They do not capitalize and they punt the ball away. 41-yard punt, 13-yard return by Doherty. Army takes over 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. Homer drops back to pass, feels pressure, throws this ball, and it's intercepted by Samuel Reddick. Reddick rushes ahead before he is brought down for a 6-yard gain, and Virginia gets the ball back. And the crowd is stunned as we have less than a minute left in the third quarter. Homer's second interception of the day. Virginia hands the ball off to Callahan for a gain of 7. Thompson unloads a deep pass to Daniel for a gain of 23, and that will be the last play of the third quarter as Virginia still has this lead 24-23. It is first down and 10 at the 21-yard line. As Thompson drops back to pass, looking, throws this ball deep towards the end zone, and it's going to be a jump ball, and his man comes down with it. Touchdown, Virginia. As they have extended their lead after the extra point to 8 points. It is 31-23, just starting the fourth quarter. Kickoff taken from the 9-yard line. Doherty gets a 27-yard return, and Army will have it 1st and 10, their own 36. Homer finds Clay for a gain of 13 on the play, first down. Homer keeps his own number, gets a gain of 9. Hands the ball off to Brown, who gets a gain of 8. And it will be a 1st and 10. Hand off to Brown for a gain of 2. Hand off to Davis, who gets 8 yards in the play. 1st and 10. False start on the offense. Bell gets a handoff, loss of 1. 2nd and 16. Homer drops back to pass, finds Bell over the middle for a gain of 13. And then an incomplete pass to Himbo Samuel as they will elect to kick it. It's 4th and 3 at the Virginia 17. And as we've seen earlier today, this is a chip shot for McClure, who nails it. And Army cuts into the lead 31-26. Less than 10 minutes left in the game. Virginia. McClure kicks it to the 7-yard line. Chamberlain gets a 25-yard return, and Virginia starts off at the 32. Thompson, incomplete pass. Thompson, complete out of the backfield to Callahan for a gain of 6. 3rd down and 4. Thompson tries to throw it, finds Peyton Moore on a tipped pass, and it will be a gain of nothing as they will go 3 and out. Army will take over after the 51-yard punt, 10-yard return by Doherty, 1st and 10 from the 21. Homer finds Clay for a gain of 9. Hand the ball off to Davis for a gain of 10. Hand the ball off to Brown for a gain of 3. And much like every other Army drive, there is a penalty by them. That'll be a false start. Be 2nd and 12. Homer hands the ball off to Brown for a gain of 4. 3rd down and 8. Homer drops back to pass, feels pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Dropped for a loss of 2 on the play, and Army has to punt this ball away. 57-yard punt. Chamberlain gets a 22-yard return, but there's an illegal block in the back. It will be 1st and 10 at the Virginia 8 with 4:17 left in the game. Thompson tries to set up a screen pass to Daniel, and he gets blown up in the backfield for a loss of 2. But holding on the defense, 5 free yards and an automatic first down. Virginia 1st and 10 at the 13. Thompson finds Richardson for a gain of 19, big first down. Thompson finds McVeigh for a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Hand the ball off to Paris for a gain of 6. Callahan gets the rush for a gain of 6 on the play. Paris rushes it for a gain of 7. They're in Army territory at the 47, 1st and 10. Thompson drops back to pass, finds Paris out of the backfield, rushes ahead. He gets tackled finally for a 13-yard gain. Callahan gets the handoff for a gain of 6, taking away a lot of time. Paris gets the handoff again, gain of 4, and Army will call their first timeout of the half. It is 1st and 10 at the Army 24. They're burning a lot of time. Thompson completes the pass over the middle to Quentin Daniel. Daniel gets the ball, pops free, and it's a fumble on the ground, and it's going to be recovered by Virginia. The offense maintains the ball, and it's going to be a gain of 16 on the play, and Army calls their second timeout. 1st and goal from the 8. Handoff to Callahan. He gets a 5-yard gain. Army calls their final timeout. 2nd and goal from the 3. Thompson, delayed handoff to Paris. Paris rushes ahead. Touchdown, Virginia. As we roll up very close to the 2-minute warning, the extra point is up and good, 38-26. 2:07. Kickoff will be a touchback. Army will get one play off before they get the 2-minute timeout. Homer finds Kenyon Taylor for a gain of 10 as we hit that 2-minute timeout. Homer drops back to pass, completes it to Bell, but Virginia finally gives them free yards. Illegal contact on the defense. Automatic first down, 1st and 10 from the 40. Homer drops back to pass, incomplete. Homer, incomplete yet again. It is 3rd and 10 from the 40-yard line. Virginia needs to make it stand here. Homer drops back to pass, looking, feels pressure, steps up into the pocket, decides to roll out a little bit more, making up time, throws this ball, big heave there, and Brian Davis comes down with it with Army, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Army. A 60-yard hookup there. Actually, this makes it even more dramatic. I read that wrong. That was a 60-yard rush by Brian Davis. That was not a pass play. My bad. The extra point is up and good as Army cuts into the lead with less than 2 minutes. Onside kick try here. Army has no timeouts remaining. McClure lines it up. Here comes the kick. And it's going to be a 2-hopper as Virginia recovers the ball. And that will be it as they kneel this ball out. And Virginia comes out of it with a comeback win, and they will beat their in-conference rival in Army 38-33.